Over the course of Grand Summoner's lifespan, there has been multiple times where if you started the game, you would be leagues ahead compared to if someone started in a different time. And we are currently living in the former. From the mines, to Fate being back, to very soon All-Star Summons and even Summer Fate. So I'm making this video today to tell you guys some characters you need to be looking out for, how to start your account right now and become extremely strong very quickly, and just some overall generalized tips since your boy didn't post a shit you summoned because of Christmas. By the way, I hope all you guys had a great Christmas. So if you are just starting out in this game or you've been playing the game for a while, some of the characters that you could really look out for and benefit from the most in this crossover include Chloe, Shiro Emiya, Summer Miyu, Summer Chloe, and Summer Luvia and Rin. Now, Chloe herself is a pretty solid breaker on her own, but the great thing about her is that she's an arch-genner and she makes other breakers stronger, or your entire team's break value. She can make it to where even if your team isn't necessarily a breaking team, but you have relatively good break values, like, you know, you're seeing stuff at 3,000, 4,000 or whatever, she buffs up all that break power, gives you arc gauge, and she's able to even break on her own. And then once she does break or someone on your team breaks, you give everybody 200 arc gauge. She's not just only good in break comps though, she can really be used everywhere thanks to her arch trend. And if you're starting out in the game right now looking for a support unit, you don't have to look any further than Chloe. Just be careful, she is a type E arch-genner, so if you're somebody who's been around a few crossovers already, she's not going to work with other type E arch-genners. Shiro Emiya is not really a character that we need to talk about too much, considering that he is on the top of everybody's tier list most of the time because he's the king of in-game. His whole gimmick is that you go into Unlimited Blade Works, you pop it, and then that's it. You have a massive amount of DR thanks to Unlimited Blade Works. You're able to use a shield on your art to protect the team, and then you even have some damaging capabilities in your kit thanks to his super art that buffs up his damage and attack, or even helping out your entire team by reducing the enemy's physical res. For the most part though, the way how you play this guy is go into Unlimited Blade Works and then spam the art until you need to go into Unlimited Blade Works again. Thankfully, you're actually able to get one of these characters completely for free, and I highly recommend that you do, thanks to the Fate Selector ticket that you get by logging in, if I'm not mistaken. It may actually be in the mission events, I'm not for sure, I haven't actually been in game yet to see. But either way, once you get this ticket, you can go here in the Alchemist shop and select Chloe for the free. I know some of you may be like, oh, but what about Miyu and Ilya? Shouldn't I pick one of them or something? No, I'm gonna be honest with you, don't do it, especially if you're missing all three. Chloe is the one with the best value. If you already have Chloe, then I recommend that you pick up Miyu next, and then if you already have Miyu, then Ilya would be last in my opinion. As for the Summer Fate, this one has a lot of heavy hitters. Like I said before, Summer Miyu is fantastic. She's very much this quality of life character. That's what I call this archetype, at least, the quality of a life archetype, where every single battle, which counts as a wave in game, she gives herself 200 arts, and then on the next wave, she'll give herself 200 arts, and she keeps doing this until there's no more stages in the quest. Of course, getting arc gauge is really good, but the great thing is she buffs up your entire team's physical damage every time she uses a true art. So hopefully you can see what happens here. You get the 200 arc gauge on a stage, you pop off with the true art, get a physical damage buff. You do it over and over and over again until you get to the final boss, and then you can even do it there, or use your super art, which has super crits and deals a lot of damage, but it is really slow. After Summer Me, you have a character like Summer Chloe. Summer Chloe is fantastic as well, being able to be a healer for your entire team, and also has a bit of art shinning too. The main issue with Summer Chloe though is that she doesn't have any innate art shin, so it's hard to get her into her arts and everything, unless you have another strong art shinner on the team that's able to help her and the rest of the team kind of get going in the very beginning. Once she gets going though, you really shouldn't have too much of an issue, but just that initial startup will be a bit of a bother. And then lastly, from the Summer Fate collab, Summer Luvia and Rin. This character is busted, and it's more of a veteran style character, I will say, but if you get lucky as a new player, you can definitely work towards using her at her full potential. Now, the reason why Luvia and Rin are so good is because of their passive. Their passive says when they get near death, they give everybody 200 arc gauge instantaneously, which means that for nuking settings, which most of the game is about nuking, Luvia and Rin getting to near death is equal to having 4 type zeros on your team, which is insane, bro. That frees up so many equip slots. The issue with this though, in order to force a near death on Luvia and Ren, you usually need certain mines equips, and luckily for you, mines is currently ongoing at the time of this video. But the mines equips you need are Redacne's equips. Either the 4-star support that reduces your own HP by 80% and it gives everybody crit rate, or the 5-star support, which reduces your HP by 99% and gives you 120 arc gauge. I personally really like the 5-star support, considering that Luvia and Ren already have a 4-star heal. So what you can do is you can pop a blessed necklace on her, use Redacne's 5-star support item, and then there you go. Even if she dies, she's going to revive, as she has enough arc gauge to either go into her super art for some damage res down, or her true art to buff up everybody's physical damage. It does kind of suck that this unit is really enabled by this equip, and without it, she's still solid, but she's not at full power. This is probably the most equip specific unit in the entire game. So if you're interested in this playstyle, I recommend you get into the mines and start farming like crazy for Redacne. But just like how it was with the first part, you can get one of these characters for free, but 2 of them are on here. The selector this time around is for Summer Emiya, Summer Miyu, and Summer Chloe. In my personal humble opinion, if you want the best bang for your buck, I would go Summer Miyu every single day of the week. The reason being, she gives you arc gauge, she gives you physical damage buffs, and she's the 200 arc gauge unit, so she's able to help you in farming, mines, and any piece of content where you just need to go through multiple stages. She will be great in. But if you wind up picking up Summer Miyu through your summons, then that's whenever I would go with Summer Chloe. Summer Chloe, like I mentioned before, she has the healing. She's very good at what she does. She even has a really massive damage buff, but she takes a bit to get going. And if you need a support character that can kind of do it all, she's not the unit that I would personally recommend. If you are more of a veteran though, and you like Grand Crusade, consider picking up Summer Chloe because she's great in multiple EX fights. And before we move on from this banner, the last thing I want to tell all of my new peeps and everybody else is that if you are struggling on equipment, or you feel like that your equipment is just a bit lacking, I highly recommend that you check out the Fate crossover gacha equip summons. There's some good stuff in here that are definitely worth getting. Like the defense item is extremely strong. You have Ren's outfit, which is one of the best magic arc gauge equips in the entire game, and a bunch more in here. Like I said, I just recommend you look at everything and see if there's anything that appeals to you, because being able to pick up some really good units along with some great equips is going to make your account so much stronger than just having one or the other. But now let's talk about the next big banner we'll be getting, and that is the All-Star banner. Now, the All-Star banner, for those that don't know, is like Grand Summoner's Smash Ultimate type banner, where everybody is here, apart from crossovers. Everybody in the game should be in this, apart from the most recently released characters. So this includes some crazy units, like War God Finn, Ultimate Paladin Roy, BF Emperor, Kirisame, Jay, Valentine's Priscilla, and so many more are all in this banner. If you are brand new, the All-Star banners are a godsend, because everybody in this banner for you is going to be new, because the chance of you getting a brand new unit is so high compared to somebody who has hundreds of hours on this game. So if you really want to accelerate your account, some of the characters that I highly recommend you look out for include War God Finn, BF Emperor, Jay, Valentine's Priscilla, Valentine's Lisa, Star God, and then lastly, Uppy's Roy. Uppy's Roy is insane, one of the greatest characters in this entire game. Once you get him into his super art, you get 2 options. You can either use his super art that gives you physical damage and arc gauge, or you can use his Phantom Bullet, which gives everybody on your team a massive amount of arts. I'm talking 200 arc gauge on the Phantom Bullet. This is one of the reasons why he's so strong, because he can make the entire team extremely fast if he gets 300 arc gauge. And then once you're in that, dude, you're off to the races. You don't have to worry about anything. And I'm telling all of you guys, if you get him, make sure you build him. This guy will hard carry your account for a very long time. I will say that his equips matter quite a bit, considering that he needs to get into that 300 arc gauge like very quickly. Of course though, you can rely on your other teammates to help you get into that art, but bare minimum, make sure you pick up his true weapon, because this allows him to start the quest with 100 arc gauge right out the gate. And then lastly, I guess I might as well talk about this unit, considering this is going to be her debut banner, Minas. Now, unlike everybody else we talked about in this video, I think Minas is very good, but more so for kind of those intermediate and veteran players. New players, I don't think you guys are going to see too much value out of her, but I will say if you're able to pick up some supports and stuff like that early on, and then you wind up getting Minas as well, because she has some arts in her kit thanks to her art, and her art allows her to reset her support and heal equip the first time you use it, and the true art's able to reduce physical res, but if the enemy is not a human, god, or demon, you reduce the enemy's physical res by 120% instead. Also, whenever you use this true art, the first 2 times you use it, you refresh your own defense equip, which is going to allow you to have certain defense equips up 100% of the time. And then the super art is just a massive amount of damage. It's able to refresh your own physical equip, which does not have a limit, by the way. The only activation condition of this refresh is that this will activate every time your super art has been used an odd number of times during a quest, which this super art pairs perfectly with her passive that's able to buff up her own crit rate when she's not afflicted by stats elements, and you get more crit damage based on how much remaining HP you have. If you have max HP, you get 200% crit damage. And if this wasn't enough, ladies and gentlemen, you also have the ratio passive, where the more attack she has, the more damage she has. So yeah, she's a very loaded unit that deals crazy amounts of damage, and not to mention, she is a very unique race type, being a spirit, so she doesn't really get countered by any of the bosses in the game. Of course though, she is a crit character, so if she can't crit, then she'll probably kind of just be on the wayside. But you really don't have to worry about that for most cases, and most fights in this game allow you to crit. So because of all that, Minas is going to be a phenomenal character if you're able to pick her up after you got everybody else. Ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be it for this video. These are some of the characters that you can look for right now, and some of the things that you can do to really jumpstart your account. If you're brand new and you get all these ascended characters and you're wondering, hey man, how the heck do I ascend them? I recommend you just do the expeditions for right now. Go into your AFK mode, ascend them through that, and even though it's going to take a while, that's going to be a lot easier for you to do than going through Summoner's Road and trying to do it like that, because that is going to be a big headache. Of course, if you want to, by all means do it. Don't even be ashamed to use some crystal refreshes on it. Perfectly understandable, especially to get your first few ascended characters going. But thank you all again for hanging out. If you have any more tips that you want to leave to all the new peeps or whoever else, please by all means leave them down below. Oh, and one more thing before you all leave, don't forget to drink water.